What is happening, mediocre people of YouTube? The state of Michigan is now on lockdown. Stay home unless you have a valid reason for being out. Which I have a valid reason for being out. Look at this jackass gonna fucking... There's a left turn lane sitting right next to him. This motherfucker is gonna sit here and fucking try to turn fucking left. Maybe not. Alright, so maybe I jumped the gun. Maybe I was fucking being kind of a dick about it. But usually that's the case. This is Ford Road. And Ford Road at this time of day, it is now 2:45, is usually fucking jam-packed. And it's not necessarily super light traffic right now. I mean, there's traffic out. But it's certainly not as much traffic as you would normally expect on Ford. Anybody from this area knows Ford Road. You, at 2:45 in the afternoon, you would expect a lot more traffic here. But, anyway, yep, as of 12:01 a.m., the state of Michigan has been on lockdown. They're telling you to stay home unless you have a valid reason for being out. All the businesses are closed except essential workers. Essential workers, man. That shit fucking makes me think of like Nazi Germany, right? Are you an essential worker? I am an essential worker. Do you have it? Where is your paperwork? I don't know what kind of accent I'm doing right now, but where is your paperwork? Do you have valid reason for being out? Yes, sir. I am an essential worker. Oh, so like you could still, like the gas stations are open and the rest, some of the restaurant, a lot of the restaurants have gone to takeout only as of like last week. But which I don't want to I'm not getting takeout. Because the problem with that is I don't know who the fuck handled my food, you know. I'm not fucking, I ain't ordering no fucking pizza or no takeout right now. I'm going to eat at home, you know. Even, I'm telling you, man, even going to the grocery store, kind of getting freaked out. Going to the grocery store and I wipe all the shit down with Clorox wipes, you know, and everything. And then the bags, I throw them away and wash my hands and everything. I'm taking proper precaution, you know, like you're supposed to. You know, I ain't down with the mass hysteria. I don't watch mainstream media unless the president's on, because I do want to know, you know, what the president's saying, what he's doing, what he's thinking, or, you know, our governor and all that kind of stuff. I want to know what's going on, so I do watch that, but other than that, I don't watch the mainstream media because, you know, they're trying to get this fucking mass hysteria going on. Look, you know, everybody, all of us, our anxiety is already extremely high right now. You know, we don't need to be watching programs that gets our anxiety up higher, even worse, you know, especially people who have anxiety problems. I can't, I was thinking about that last week. I was talking with my neighbor. I said, you know, what about like senior citizens that maybe, or like somebody that has like dementia or something, and then they watch these news programs. Dude, these people are going to be bouncing off the fucking walls, man. The media needs to be, you know, more responsible about how they're reporting, because like I said, it's already scary. Everyone, me and everybody I know, our anxiety is already high. You know, you don't need to add to that. Nobody needs to add to that. Everybody needs to be doing things that relieve their stress. You know, I mean, calm you down. You know, try to have some fun. You know, maybe rekindle your relationships with your family and the people you love and care about. Because in the end, that's what it's all about, you know. I mean, it's about the people you love and trying to protect them while you're protecting yourself, you know, and trying to help the people you love, trying to help their anxiety levels go down. So try to have some fun. I'm on 275 now, near right in Plymouth, Michigan. coming up on the 96 junction, 275 and 96 east. I don't know, traffic's about average. Now, I talked to some people this morning who told me that they trekked from this area out to Lansing, Michigan, and they said it was weird because there was just nobody on the road. But from what I can see, I mean, traffic seems to me about average, you know. So, and I think this is exactly the type of thing the governor was trying to do with people by doing this whole lockdown. I think what the governor is trying to say is, look, there's a whole bunch of people out here that are not taking this seriously. And I think there is a whole bunch of people that are not taking this seriously. It's fucking serious, you guys. Think about it. 2 weeks ago, we had fucking, you know, okay, you think about, okay, we got 20,000 people in the United States. 20,000 people is nothing in a country of 300 million people. However, think about this. 2 weeks ago, we only had 35 fucking cases. And within 2 weeks' time, now we have, I don't even know what it is. As of yesterday, it was like 21,000 cases. That's what fucking creeps me out, is the fucking numbers. How quickly it's multiplying. And the other thing is, you just don't know who you're dealing with, because I could have it right now, you know, and not know it. You know, anybody could have it. This is fucking scary, man. We ain't never been through anything like this in our generation. You know, you go back, you know, way back, you know, there's definitely been things like this that have happened in our history. But, you know, in our generation, you know, even my mom's generation, god damn it, I don't want to catch a fucking rock off this truck. Son of a bitch. Even like my mom's generation has never experienced anything like this. So it's stressful, it's worrisome, you know? Like, god damn it. Motherfucker, I hate these fucking trucks in Michigan. It's all bullshit, and I'm gonna tell you right now, for the people who say, oh, it's not the trucks, bullshit, it's not the trucks. As you know, I spent over 20 years in the demolition business. You know, when we load trucks until the tires fucking bulge. You know, 80,000 pounds. It's supposed to put 60. 60,000 pounds is supposed to be the maximum in Michigan. We easily throw 80,000 pounds on a truck. Now, listen to this. Everywhere else in the fucking country, the maximum is 20,000 pounds. So, you want to know why our roads are fucked up so bad in Michigan? It's the goddamn trucking, I'm telling you, man. We fucking laugh about that shit. Cracking roads behind you. But it's legal. You know, anywhere else in the country, 20,000 pounds is the max. Michigan, 60,000. It's fucking nuts, man. But they don't want to address that. Now, there was a reason for that. Don't get me wrong. There was a reason that Michigan allowed that. That's why the law passed. Because at one time, we had a lot of heavy industry here. A lot of heavy industry, man. I tore down fucking steel plants and shit here with fucking pieces of fucking steel that you wouldn't even... Dude, they're so fucking big, it's not even funny. I mean, but that was why, back in the day, when Michigan still had a heavy industry, they passed a law that allowed trucks to have, you know, 60,000 pounds instead of the 20,000 pounds that you see everywhere else around the country. We don't have heavy industry like we used to in Michigan now. We've got, you know, we still got the auto industry, but we don't have the big steel industry we don't have the big heavy manufacturing industry we had. That shit's long gone, man. We're barely fucking surviving on the auto industry right now. And dude, you'd have to be from Detroit to understand what I mean, because, you know, one time, you know, my father's generation was the generation where you could get out of high school, go to General Motors, fill out an application, get hired, and stay there for 30 years and get a pension. You know, that's the way it was. That's how fucking many people the auto industry needed back then. They, like I said, get out of high school, you go to work for one of the big three, General Motors, Ford, Chrysler. Now, my father didn't work in the auto industry, but a lot of the fathers of friends I had did. And they made good money, they have good pensions, and, you know, you didn't need a fucking education the way things are marketed right now. You know, I mean, right now the way they're marketing things is, and I'm all for education. I'm all for higher education. At the same time, what they're doing right now is fucking killing kids, man. I mean, these kids, everybody's in the mindset that, oh, you got to get the degree, you got to get the degree. And that's cool, man, because I'm all for higher education. But the problem is the fucking tuition on education. You end up with a fucking 22-year-old kid who has hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and can't get a fucking job, or the job that's gonna pay well isn't going to pay well for at least 15 years. You know, even doctors. You know, I know all kinds of doctors, and many of the doctors that I know didn't really start doing well until they were like 50 years old, because they finally fucking paid off their student loan debt. So what I'm saying is that, you know, get an education, educate yourself. That's the scariest thing in the world for anybody, is to go up against a well-educated person. You know, they don't want you, at the same time they want you to do what they tell you, but, you know, at the same time they tell you, oh, but don't forget us, because we got to make money off you, so come pay fucking $45,000 a semester to get your education. So I think it's a fucking scam going on. You know, I guess it's something else. I'm not for forgiveness of loans, because, you know, hey, you would hope that, you know, these people, maybe not, you know, I don't know. When you're 18 years old, do you really know what you're getting yourself into with these student loans? I don't know. When I was 18 years old, I didn't even know there was student loans. You know, had I known that, I probably would have gotten even a higher education than I did. I didn't even know about it. So, you know, once I was like 30 years old and I bought a house, when I signed my mortgage papers, I knew exactly what I was getting into. I don't know whether you really know what you're getting into at 18 years old. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think I'm for forgiveness of student loan debt, but at the same time, I think it's yet another thing that the fucking government's gonna have to get involved in, you know, just like healthcare, because there's just fucking too many scams going on, man. These kids are fucking, yeah, they get their higher education, yet they're fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and usually they're not making that kind of money to pay off those debts, you know. You know, it used to be you get a higher education, you actually got out of college and started making good money, you know, right off the bat. But now it's just, I don't know, man, it's fucked up. Really fucked up. And I just wish, you know, in the end, I wish people could get what the fuck they need. You know, it seems like the people that are the worst off can't get the fucking health care they need. You know, the people that are, you know, like me, like, okay, I'm pretty healthy, but at the same time, you know, I do rely on some medications every month, you know, and I get what I need for the most part. I mean, it's, you know, I got to fucking argue with the insurance companies from time to time, but then there's people that are, you know, fucking paralyzed, and they're getting the care. They're getting care, but they're not necessarily getting the care they need, because, hey, the insurance companies, they're the same way. All they want to do is fucking collect premiums, and they want it, just like when you fucking wreck your car, man. They want to find any way they can to fucking either not pay you at all, or pay you the least amount they possibly can. You know, the health insurance is the same way. Pay premiums every month, and they try to get out of everything they can fucking get out of paying for. So unfortunately, I think we're at a point where the government needs to get involved, but at this point, I don't want the fucking current government getting involved, because it's so fucked up. Democrats and Republicans alike. I mean, it's so fucking stupid these days how these motherfuckers cannot agree on anything just for the sake of my party doesn't agree with it. You know what? You know, if you're an elected official, be a man. Be a woman. Whatever you are, be a fucking person. Don't be a fucking Republican or a Democrat. Don't be a liberal or a conservative. Be a fucking person. You know, as you guys know, I try to pride myself on being a true independent. there's a lot of things that I lean conservative on, but I'm finding out, you know, the longer time goes on, that there's a lot of things I lean more, what do they call it? Fuck, now I can't think of it. See, you get older and you just lose these thoughts. You're thinking about something. I lean more libertarian. I'm finding out that I lean more libertarian than anything. But I know I lean conservative on a lot of things, but there's things I'm liberal about too, you know? I mean, I don't agree with one fucking party, dude. I think about something and, you know, I make my own decision. And if I was an elected official, I don't give a fuck if my party agrees with it or not. You know, I'm gonna fucking vote the way I'm gonna vote. And fuck you. And this fucking government we have right now, I don't want them getting involved in anything fucking important. Because look what they did with healthcare, with Obamacare, the ACA. You know, Obama tweeted out the other day how proud he was of passing the ACA 10 years ago. And I'm like, I actually replied to that tweet. I said, dude, how can you be proud of something that you yourself didn't even want? He didn't want that shit. Congress came up with that bullshit. And he fucking went along with it because he had to. In the meantime, he wanted to be able to offer us, Obama, what his plan was, is to be able to offer us the same insurance that Congress members get at the same low prices. That's what he was looking for. And then it went to Congress, and all the fucking retards got involved, and, you know, fucked over a lot of people. You know, even though I know it helped people, it helped some people, but it also fucked a lot of people. Anyway, guys, I guess this is my rant video today. I was meaning to talk about, you know, how there's nobody on the road, but I don't know, there's really nobody on 6 Mile here, but anyway, I gotta run. I gotta stop at the pharmacy, pick up my prescriptions, and I'm going home. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. I think peace. And I don't know how to shut this motherfucker off.